Once upon a time, there was a great monastery in a part of China where about 500 monks lived. They all practiced the path of self-realization under the guidance of their Zen master. One day, a man came to the monastery to become a disciple. He said to the Zen master, "Sir, I want to know myself. I want to know the truth." The Zen master looked at him and said, "If you want to know the truth, you must be willing to put your whole life on the line. It may take your entire life to know the truth, and even then, there is no guarantee that you will know it in this lifetime. Are you ready for this?" The disciple replied, "Sir, I have come here with no intention of turning back. I am ready for this." The master said, "If that's the case, then do one thing. There are 500 monks in this monastery. Take on the task of pounding rice for them. Just keep pounding rice from morning until night. When you get tired, go to sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, start pounding rice again. Don't do anything else. Don't think of anything else. Follow this path. Also, do not come to me again. I will come to you when necessary." The young man began pounding rice as per his master's instructions. With 500 disciples in the monastery, all needing food, the disciple woke up early every morning and started pounding rice until night. When he was tired, he slept in the same room where he pounded the rice. He didn't speak to anyone, and no one approached him to talk. For several months, while pounding the rice, all sorts of thoughts came to his mind. However, when these thoughts found no new material to latch onto, they disappeared on their own. Gradually, his thoughts began to diminish. After a few years, he even forgot his own name. He always remained silent and continued pounding rice in a thoughtless state. He did not meditate or read any scriptures. The older disciples in the monastery considered him insignificant and far inferior to them. 12 years passed in this manner. After 12 years, one day the Zen master announced that his time was drawing to a close and he needed to choose his successor, who would lead the monastery after him. Therefore, any disciple who had achieved self-realization should write a few lines near the master's door at night, lines that encompassed their entire experience. Many disciples contemplated doing this. One of the senior disciples, who was well versed in Buddhist scriptures, was considered the potential successor by all. He went and brought some lines. He wrote, "The mind is like a mirror on which the dust of thoughts and desires accumulates. Clearing this dust is meditation. When the dust is removed and the mirror of the mind is clear, salvation is attained." When the master woke up in the morning and saw these lines, he became very angry and said, "Who wrote all this nonsense on my wall?" The senior disciple remained silent. However, the lines he wrote contained wisdom, but were superficial knowledge. The senior disciple was very intelligent. He wrote the lines but did not sign them because he himself did not know if he was correct or not, as he had not achieved self-realization. The master completely rejected these lines, and everyone was surprised by this. This incident became a topic of discussion throughout the monastery. 2 disciples approached the disciple who had arrived 12 years ago and used to pound rice day and night. He smiled gently after hearing their discussion. Both disciples asked why he was smiling. He replied, "I am smiling because the master is right. All these lines were garbage and had no value." The disciples were shocked and asked if he could write better lines. The rice disciple responded that he couldn't write because he was illiterate, but he could speak some lines, and if they wrote them, he would agree. So they agreed, and they went to the master's room. The rice disciple said some lines, and the other disciple wrote them on the wall. He signed as the rice disciple. They expected the same reaction from the master as before, but the lines he spoke were incredible. The line said, "The mind is just an illusion. There is no mind, no mirror of the mind. And when the mind does not exist, where can dust settle? One who knows this has known the truth." When the master saw these lines, he got up in the middle of the night, went to the young rice disciple who was sleeping, woke him up and said, "Take this, take my staff, and take my robe. From today, you are my successor. But leave this monastery immediately and go far away. I know there are many scholars in this monastery who consider themselves superior to you. They will kill you because they cannot tolerate that a simple rice disciple has become enlightened while they have not. You have everything I have, and you have achieved it while pounding rice. And I know that wherever you go, people will come to you because when a flower blooms, its fragrance begins to spread everywhere. The rice disciple touched his master's feet, left the monastery that night, and never looked back. If we look at our lives, we will see that many people think meditation can only be done by sitting in one place with eyes closed. But in reality, it's not like that. Meditation can be practiced even while walking or while doing some work. The true meaning of meditation is to be so absorbed in what you are doing that you are not even aware of your body. Just like the rice disciple, who was so absorbed in pounding rice that he had no sense of self. And one day, while pounding rice, he achieved self-realization. In Zen, it means being in the present moment all the time and not thinking about anything, because the mind exists as long as there are thoughts. When there are no thoughts, the mind also disappears. And when the mind is no longer present, only your pure, true self remains. In reality, we don't need any other spiritual practice to know our true nature. We just need to become completely absorbed in what we are doing, become so absorbed that the work itself becomes meditation. I hope this video has added something to your life. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay focused. Be happy.